Hi, I'm Jeremy Crosby.
And I'm Nick Boucher. We're your hosts for the program that's all about your city, Talking Fitchburg.
Every weekday, we pull together the news, events, and information you need to stay on top of what's happening in the city of Fitchburg.
Find Talking Fitchburg on cable TV, Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, and our live stream on the web. Plus, you can find all our headlines and stories on Facebook, YouTube, and our video on demand service. This is your city.
Keep up with Talking Fitchburg and the issues affecting you and your neighbors.
Want to know what's happening in your city? Get Notify Me messages from the City of Fitchburg. Visit fitchburgwi.gov on your computer or mobile device and select the big Notify Me button on the left. Enter your email and/or phone number, whichever is best for you to get notifications. Scroll down the list and select all the topics you're interested in to receive email or text messages about. You'll be notified every time one of your topics is updated. Sign up for Notify Me, one more way to keep up with your Fitchburg government.
Common Council meeting for October 14, 2025. The first thing is to call to the order to the meeting at 6:34. And second is, please stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next is roll call, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor Radafrada.
Here.
Alder Dancer Jr. Absent with excuse. Alder Gearhart.
Without excuse. Here.
Alder Herbst.
Here.
Alder Jetzer.
Here.
Alder Lattice.
Here.
Alder Maldonado.
Here.
Alder Reichstad.
Here.
You do have a quorum, Mayor.
Thank you. So we have a couple of public appearances for non-agenda item, and also we have new appointments, and we have a couple of proclamations. So I will call first to. Can you help me with this?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Where is non-agenda? This one. Okay. I will call to the microphone Paul Algiers. He wishes to speak on an ordinance enforcement. Paul, you have 3 minutes. Yeah, anyway. You need to press so. Yes.
Good evening, Mayor, Administrator, City Administrator, Council, and neighbors. My name is Paul Algiers. I live at 2470 South Sain Road with my wife, Therese. We've been to council meetings before for the same problem where the ordinances have not been enforced. Our concern is the condition and the maintenance of the property next to ours. Tonight, I would like to once again request the council in support of addressing my concerns. I have a history. I purchased the house in 1998. At that time, the neighbor's property was in satisfactory condition. The house and the garage were well maintained. It was free of junk, wood piles, auto parts, weeds, etc. The yard did have a few dying apple trees and elm trees. But then in the year 2000, that owner sold and the new owner came in. Shortly after that, the property began to fill up with cars, trucks, auto parts, wood piles, trailers, scrap wood, and more. During this time, I would see the Cosgrove Construction Company drop off loads of particle board. Tree trimmers would be dropping off truckloads of wood. The City of Fitchburg Arboretum Tree Department also dropped off truckloads of wood. And the construction companies from Swan Creek dumped loads and loads and loads of dirt to fill in that property. The neighbors started running a part-time business of auto repairs. Eventually, the city put a stop to the auto repairs on that property. Within a couple of years, I did an official complaint. My first official complaint came when I noticed the 2004 Fitchburg update asking for citizens to complain on this. I complained to Jack Pearson on 32904, and I called Captain Becker a number of times, 323 and 32504, about the complaints. The ordinances are listed in that. You have it in your packets. Some things were rearranged to soften the appearance, but nothing ever happened. I would go back to see John Crook or Jack Pearson every 2 to 4 months to file another complaint. One thing that I remember is that everyone I've talked to knows of the property. And they also have mentioned to me that they would not like to live there, or it'd be pretty tough living there with that. In 2016, my wife and I organized a neighborhood petition to have an ordinance reinstated that was accidentally omitted that would address some of these problems. Through Jake Johnson's help, that 74.92 ordinance was reinstated.
Paul, your time is up.
Can I just say I've lived there, and 89% of my time living there, I have been coming to the city for this. I've listed all the ordinances that I see. I hope you look at these ordinances and take action on each and every one of the ordinances. I just don't want one thing done. I want it to where it should be. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. We're going to take a look at that, okay? Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so next we are moving to the mayoral proclamation, and the first one is recognizing October as a Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So we are going to start over there.
Okay, recognizing October as Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Whereas breast cancer remains a significant public health issue in the United States and Wisconsin, affecting thousands of women and men each year, and
whereas in the U.S., breast cancer is the most common cancer diagnosed in women other than skin cancer, and the second leading cause of cancer death. In 2025, an estimated 316,950 women will be diagnosed with invasive breast cancer, and about 42,170 will die from the disease. A woman's lifetime risk is about 1 in 8, but death rates have declined by 44% since 1989 due to early detection and improved treatment. And
whereas in Wisconsin, approximately 5,920 women are expected to be diagnosed with breast cancer in 2025, and about 690 are projected to die from it. And
whereas early detection, access to care, research, and community support remain essential in improving breast cancer outcomes. And
whereas recognizing Breast Cancer Awareness Month encourages residents, organizers, and health providers to promote awareness, support patients and survivors, and advance prevention, screening, and research efforts.
So now, therefore, I, Julia Frata, Mayor of the City of Fitchburg, along with the members of the Common Council, do hereby proclaim October as a Breast Cancer Awareness Month in the City of Fitchburg. Throughout the month, the City Hall will shine pink to remind us of the importance of awareness, early detection, and support for those affected. I urge all residents to join in activities that raise awareness, support individuals and families impacted by breast cancer, and work together toward prevention, early detection, treatment, and ultimately a cure. This is proclaimed today, October 14, 2025. We are going to take a picture, and I want to say that, I know and people in my family are affected by this disease, this cancer, my mom, my aunt, and my mother-in-law. So I am doing this for them. Okay. Let's have a picture. Ya está, ya resultado. So the next one is recognizing October as a Pedestrian Safety Month and October 15 as a White Cane Safety Day.
Whereas safe, accessible streets are essential for the well-being of all residents, including children, older adults, and people with disabilities, and
whereas thousands of Wisconsinites, including over 100,000 with vision loss, rely on sidewalks, curb ramps, accessible pedestrian signals, white canes, and service animals to navigate public spaces safely, and
whereas Wisconsin's white cane law requires drivers to stop at least 10 feet from pedestrians using a white cane or service animal, reinforcing the need for driver awareness and pedestrian respect, and
whereas communities can reduce injuries and save lives by investing in proven pedestrian safety infrastructure such as high visibility crosswalks, traffic calming, and accessible design, and
whereas raising awareness of pedestrian rights and responsibilities promotes a culture of safety and inclusion for all road users.
So now, therefore, Mayor Julia Ratafrata, along with the Common Council, do hereby proclaim October as a Pedestrian Safety Month and October 15, 2025, as a White Cane Safety Day in Fitchburg, and call on all resident leaders and lawmakers to prioritize safe and accessible streets year-round. This is proclaimed October 14, 2025. So, and I'm going to call Jim and his wife. Take a picture.
Madam Mayor and members of the council, thank you very much for this proclamation. It means a lot. I'm Jim Benham. My wife and I are residents of Fitchburg. I also serve on the Bicycle and Pedestrian Commission, and I also work for Wisconsin Council of Blind and Visually Impaired. I've been totally blind since birth, and I am a pedestrian. As of the 34% of Americans or of Wisconsin residents who cannot or choose not to hold a driver's license, we're all pedestrians. Pedestrians are really important. Things like sidewalks, auto pedestrian signals are very important. I really appreciate the work the council has done and continues to do to make Fitchburg really safe for pedestrians and people who are not driving. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so next we are moving to item 4B, and this is we have two mayoral appointments, a new appointment. I will call to the microphone Diana De Pierola for the Resource Conservation Commission. Her term will expire April 2027. This is shortening due to the vacancy. Can you come to? Hi.
Hi. Hello. Good night, everybody.
So you can introduce yourself and tell us why you want to be in this commission and if you have any expertise, skill that you bring to the table for,
Okay. My name is Diana De Pierola. I work right now in the energy efficiency program of Wisconsin and focus on energy. I live in Fitchburg. I am living here for about 8 years. I love this community. I feel very engaged. I have been in several activities within Fitchburg. I am very happy to be able to support and help with my expertise. I Originally, I'm from Peru. I study law, so I'm a lawyer in my country. I came here and I was teaching in several schools for around 4 years. And then I was working in a couple of different law firms. And right now I am in the energy efficiency world and working for Focus. And that has been a big change and an awesome change, I will say, because I do a lot of community outreach and I enjoy connecting with different communities around whole Wisconsin. Talking about which tomorrow I have to go to Green Bay, for example. So it gives me a lot of experience talking to several different communities and underserved communities.
Thank you. Any question, comment? No? Okay, and
I'll move
she
approval.
represents District 1, from District 1.
Wonderful. I'll move approval of Diana De Pierola to the RCC.
Second.
All those in favor of appointing Diana De Periola to the Resource Conservation Commission, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you.
You're approved. Thank you. Gracias.
Oh, thank you.
Congratulations.
Okay.
So next one. Next one I will call Brett Wagner for the Library Board. His term will expire on April 18, 2028. This is also due to a shortened term to a vacancy. Okay, Brett.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. It's great to be with you. I'm Brett Wagner. I've been a resident of Fitchburg for 15 years, and I'm honored to be considered for the Library Board. I bring a unique combination of technical and financial expertise and a deep commitment to literacy. Earned my engineering degree, which I use daily, from the University of Wisconsin-Madison, and have spent 20 years in the technical and digital transformation space, and recently ran for the Madison School Board on a platform of all students reading at grade level. We have about 90% of African American students reading below grade level, 75% of Hispanic students reading below grade level, and 1 out of every 2 students in Madison reading below grade level. So literacy is something that I'm deeply passionate about, and have spent a lot of time talking with vested interests and families and students about how we might be able to address this problem. But also, having reviewed the Fitchburg Library Board's recent work and upcoming challenges, the Children's Department renovation, managing resources amid levy limits, I'm eager to contribute my skills in fiscal stewardship and strategic planning. As someone pursuing appointments to the board, I understand the library's dual role, both in a community hub and a carefully managed public asset, and I'm particularly interested in supporting initiatives that expand literacy access across our city and across our district. Look forward to serving our community in this capacity. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Any questions? Yes.
Just very disappointed that you didn't get on the school board.
I appreciate that.
I think you would have been great.
I appreciate that. Our campaign was really focused on literacy, and we feel really proud of the fact that we raised the visibility of these numbers in and around our community. So thank you.
I'll move approval of Brett Wagner to the Library Board.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor of approving Brett Wagner for the Library Board, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Welcome. Okay, so next, I will open the public hearing on Resolution R-177-25. Is the Mayor's proposed 2026 operating budget. Do we have anyone? No? Okay. Here none. I'm going to close the public hearing and move to the consent agenda.
Move approval of consent agenda.
Second.
Madam Mayor, I'd like to pull one item out of the consent agenda.
Okay, which one?
5C number 5, preliminary plat for No Oaks Ranch. Just to correct the fact that it says west of Highway 18, it should say west of Highway 14.
Okay. So
So I guess I don't know if we need to pull it out or just make that correction.
I think we could treat that as a friendly. If you'd like us to just, if everybody's in favor of that, we'll just go ahead and make the adjustment and carry it on its referral path.
okay, all those in favor of the friendly amendment?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries. So now, who seconded?
Bill.
I did.
Bill? Okay, okay. So we have a second. So all those in favor of the consent agenda say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Okay. Oh, we have a long consent agenda. Whoa.
Yeah.
Next council meeting will be long. Okay. So then we move to the administrative report.
Good evening, everyone. I'll start with a handful of events of perhaps note for the Common Council and community. The Fitrona EMS annual meeting is this Thursday, October 16th at 7 p.m. here in the Common Council chambers. I believe all of you received a calendar invitation to that, so hopefully you can join that meeting. The next Business After 4 event will be held at the Four Winds Farm on October 21st, beginning after 4 at 4:30 p.m. There will be a virtual public information meeting held on October 22nd at 6 p.m. in regards to the Perry Street extension. For those unfamiliar with the location of Perry Street, that is a street in the city of Madison just north of Fitchburg that is being considered for extension either over or under the belt line. And there, again, is the first public information meeting on that. It's near Scion Road. If you go north on Scion Road, you'll come. No, but near there.
Okay.
Yep. Next item, a couple other events. The UW Health Unity Point Meriter Life Point joint venture on the rehabilitation hospital in the Uptown neighborhood on the city's east side will be having a groundbreaking event on October 30th from 10 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Also on October 30th from 11:15 a.m. to 1:15 p.m. Will be the annual Fitchburg Business Luncheon organized by our city's Economic Development Department, and that will be held at the BTC facility or building on the Promega campus. They're putting another ribbon cutting on your radar. It's a bit out, but the Traceway Hub is nearing its completion, and November 24th from 3 to 6 p.m. will be an event in regards to opening that facility. The police department continues to implement the reorganization plan that was approved by Common Council a couple of meetings ago. The support specialist positions have been filled, and 2 individuals began in those new roles this week. The dispatch operations ceased earlier this week, and then they are working currently on filling a couple of internal promotions resulting from that reorganization. And then finally, related to the police department, you may have noticed when you came into the meeting this evening that fencing has gone up around the police services facility site across the street. So we're hoping that ground will begin being moved within the next couple of weeks. Phase 3, which is the current final phase of the Scion Road reconstruction project, specifically from West Clayton to McCoy Road, remains on track for completion in early November. I'm sure that all of our Scion Road residents and Scion Road users will be grateful to have Scion Road reopened fully, and I'm also pleased to report that we do not have any reconstruction plans for Scion Road for the next several years, so folks can enjoy a well-deserved break there because it's been a multi-year project. As a reminder, council operating budget amendments are due October 16th at 4:30 p.m.
please use the form provided by our Finance Director, Misty Dodge, and I would encourage you to reach out to any affected departments, city administration, and/or the Finance Director in regards to any potential amendments you may be considering. And then the last item I have is the process to fill the Alder seat vacated by Alder Vafadari has started. Anyone who is interested in applying for that seat, the applications may be obtained from the city clerk, and those applications are due by November 4th. The Common Council will host its Committee of the Whole for the month of November on Monday, November 17th. It is anticipated that any interested parties in that vacant seat will have an opportunity to be interviewed by the Common Council, and then it's anticipated the Common Council will take a vote on filling that seat at its November 25th Common Council meeting. That's all I have. Any questions?
No. Okay, moving to the mayor's report. I will add, you already mentioned all the events. So I will add that the city of Fitchburg and the city of Verona and the village of Oregon, we had 2 weeks ago our first exploratory meeting regarding the district from EMS and the fire department. So also there was a presentation on the Verona Council, when it was? Last night. And it seems like the council from Verona is open to continue the conversation. And then we are already scheduled another meeting by the end of the month to continue the discussion. I'm going to keep you posted about any development. So I want to mention that during the last 2 weeks, I was very busy with, meeting with neighbors, meeting with developers, prospects. I had my last listening session in District 4. I want to thank everyone that participated in that. I also had my last coffee with the mayor. Also, at Oasis Cafe, a couple of people show up. We also, I was able to participate in the Centro Hispano annual gala to celebrate the Hispanic Heritage Month. We have a great ribbon cutting for the pickleball courts at Magog Park, and I want to say thank you to the Fitchburg Chamber of Commerce, CAPA, and the Magog Pickleball Association for their partnership and for putting together the ribbon cutting with the cake and everything. It was great. I also attended the Real Estate and Economic Forums organized by the Business School at the Fluno Center to discuss, the economic forecast for 2026 and also how it's going to affect housing. We attended with the Economic Development team, so it was a great event, conference. We also participated in the Fitchburg Department Award ceremony that happened last week. I attended the Bike the Berks event organized by the Fitchburg Chamber and also Bike Fitchburg. It was a great event too, a community event. And yesterday, maybe you can mention that in your report, Micah, the tour. I'm going to leave it to you. Okay. We continue, as you know, regarding the fire union contract, we are going to arbitration. So we are already moving to that phase. So I'm going to keep you posted of any development. And also the EMS union contract is underway too. What else? You mentioned about the ribbon cutting for the hub on November 24. And then the EMS annual meeting. I will hope that you join me on Thursday to that meeting here. And that's it for now. Any question for me? No? Okay. So next we move to Commission and Committee report, and we will start with the Plan Commission.
Plan Commission meets next week, October 21st at 6:30 p.m. But I also did want to point out that there were 2 referrals today, both minor comp plan amendments that are going to be coming back to council in December. But since they are big amendments, just wanted to point out that they are referred out in the packet, and you can find out more about them there. Thanks.
Thank you. So next we move to the Board of Public Works.
I'll move approval of Resolution R-13325, setting the 2026 solid waste collection rates.
Second.
Board of Public Works approved.
RCC approved.
Finance approved.
Thank you. Okay, what is this date?
We'll let Tim talk about this yearly.
Okay. Oh, Ben.
Or Ben, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Okay,
Yeah,
Ben.
good evening, everyone. So this is to set the solid waste collection rates for 2026. For 2025, they were set at $232. So the proposed increase for 2026 is a $4 increase being proposed. So the rate would be $236. There's a few different sheets in the packet. There's 3 sheets. So the first sheet kind of goes over the anticipated contractor costs for 2026. So you can see there's an increase in the total cost to provide these services in 2026 compared to 25. That's due to just more houses, and then the unit prices for trash pickup, recycling pickup all increase per the unit price schedule that was outlined in the contract with Pelletieri that was approved late last year. The second sheet there just kind of goes over the budget or the proposed budget, not too much as far as changes 25 to 26. And then the final sheet there is kind of an analysis of the effect on the fund balance with different rates. So one thing I do want to point out is that the fund balance right now is very healthy at about 30%. So I think the recommendation is to have your unassigned fund balance be about 15 to 25% of the total costs. So you can see that there's also $11,000 of the fund balance being used at this $236 rate. So the reason that we felt comfortable with proposing this 236 and having to dip into the fund balance a little bit is because it is so healthy at this point. That's kind of the short summary, and I'm happy to answer any other specific questions that anyone may have.
Okay, we have a question here. Okay, go, Dave.
Ben, how do we, how's the contract take into account, that we might, we'd add homes during the year, that you'd have additional pickups? How is that handled in the contract?
Yeah, so the prices in the contract are basically, and you can see on the first sheet, that's the amount or the total cost for 1 month's worth of collection. So that's kind of per the contract, and that's going to be the same price regardless of the number of homes. So the more homes that get this service means there's more homes that are getting charged on their tax bill for the service, and then that offsets the additional cost for the additional homes that would be paid to Pelletieri. So it's all as there's more homes get brought into this service, they're also having to pay that $236. So it kind of works out that way.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, yes, so what we want to clarify, the 236 is an annual charge. It's not monthly.
Yes, that's for a full year. And I guess I'll just mention that includes not only your refuse and recycling collection, but it also includes the 5 yard waste pickups throughout the year, and then 14 brush pickups. So you get, those are all the services that you'll get for your $236. And then also, the recycling center services. So the cardboard dumpsters, the polystyrene dumpsters that are out there as well. So that's kind of what is provided with the contract with Pelletieri.
Okay, thank you.
Christmas tree pickup too.
Huh?
The Christmas tree pickup too.
Oh, yeah.
which is very nice.
So the total cost for this service to the city is almost $1.5 million. Okay. And
Yes,
includes
correct.
the recycle card swap. That.
Yeah, so yep, we've got a few of those in there as
Yeah.
you know, that those are needed throughout the year.
Okay. Any other question, comments? Here none. All those in favor of resolution R-133-25, say aye.
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 Any opposed? The motion carries. Thank you, Ben. Thank you. Next one.
Thank you.
15525, accepting subdivision improvements for Phase 4 of the plat of Highfield Reserve.
Second.
Public Works approved.
Thank you. What is this?
This standard subdivision improvement. This had been postponed. There were still liens on this, and those were released, and so then Public Works move forward after the liens were reversed or removed, and their inspections have been completed.
Okay, thank you. Any question, comment? Here none. All those in favor of resolution R-155-25, say aye.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? The motion carries. Next one.
I'll move approval resolution R-15625, accepting subdivision improvements in the plat of Oak Meadow Reserve.
Second.
It was approved by Public Works. And this is the same as the last one. It had been inspected and approved by Public Works, but there was still a lien that had to be removed, and that has been removed.
Okay, thank you. Any question, comment? All those in favor of resolution R-156-25, signifying by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Oh, sorry, Joe. The motion carries. Next one.
Move approval resolution R-16325, approving Second Amendment to the agreement for engineering services for Fitchburg Road
Dave
reconstruction.
missed number 4.
Oh, I missed one. I'm sorry.
This one.
Move approval resolution R-16125, approving design services agreement for the County Highway MM Underpass project.
Second.
Public Works approved.
Finance approved.
Thank you. What is this?
Again, we're putting a underpass, a bicycle pedestrian underpass under County MM to provide access, bicycle access from Terra Vesta basically to the Capital City Trail. We are anticipating at some point the development in that parcel that it will connect. It'll connect to us development that's being built on the other side, and there'll be a path down to for it to intersect the Capital City Trail, at McCoy.
Okay. Any additional?
I'm sorry, this is engineering services only.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'd asked Tim, and he said that after the design is done, which is what this approves, likely the project would be bid out in the spring of 2027. And we have a federal grant that the state has already in hand. It is to cover 60% of the cost.
Oh, okay. Okay. Any other question? Logan.
Yep, I will make my questions, comments here brief. We talked about this a little bit at TTC and expressed a little bit of a desire to, if possible, as part of the design, find a way that until the development on the Foside property moves forward, see if there's a way we can even build like a temporary slip bike lane or something from the nice bike lanes on Highway MM to this underpass so that it would actually be somewhat usable. Otherwise, it's kind of just dead-ending at this Foside property. Wouldn't be all that usable, like the current path that kind of dead ends at the north end of the Terra Vesta subdivision. Just trying to find a way to make sure that if we're going to put the infrastructure in, that we can actually start to use it. And to that point, I've said multiple times before that I was a little bit concerned about this project just because we would be building it to a parcel that has had multiple projects kind of come forward and not end up coming to fruition. I recently had a meeting, and I don't think I'm speaking out of school when I say this here. I recently had a meeting about another development proposal that's looking to come forward here, and it seems like that has some legs to it. So I feel more comfortable moving forward with this, with that on the horizon.
Okay. David.
I concur with Logan. I I've reviewed that proposal. I think it has a good chance of coming through. So.
Okay. Any other question, comments? Okay, all those in favor of resolution R-161-25, signifying by say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Next one.
All right, now I'll get to it. Resolution. I move for approval of resolution R-163-25, approving second amendment in the agreement for engineering services for Fitchburg Road reconstruction.
Second.
Board of Public Works approved.
Finance approved.
Thank you.
So there's several components of this. One is that we are upsizing the sanitary sewer, and that is requiring that require additional engineering services to do that. And there's, as you see in the resolution, there's a number of other things that come into this requiring the amendment. These were not anticipated or planned when we originally scoped the project.
Okay. Any other?
Tim, did you want to add anything?
Oh, Tim, yeah.
Yeah.
Just that the sewer work regarding this, there's a budget amendment. It's a simple majority vote to move $20,310 from the Lacey Road Fitch-Rona Seminole project over to this project to cover those costs.
Okay, thank you. We have a question, Logan.
Yeah, I want to say I know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask it anyway, just to be safe. Tim, when we looked at this, part of the reason we decided to upsize the sanitary is because of the South Stoner Prairie neighborhood plan moving forward and that being approved and future development there. Will there be an assessment to those properties as part of this whenever they end up developing, if they end up developing?
Yeah, they would be assessed that cost to upgrade the size for the sanitary sewer. So that would be put forward on the developer when they come along.
Thank you.
Okay, good question. Any other question, comment? Here none. All those in favor of resolution R-163-25, signifying by say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
The motion carries. So next we move to Park Commission.
Move approval of resolution R-171-25, approving change order 2 for the McGaw pickleball courts to allow for court lighting.
Second.
Parks Commission and Public Works approved.
Finance approved.
Thank you. Before we move forward, we have a couple of people that they want to comment on this resolution. I will call Patrick Cheney to the microphone. Oh, he's only registered, sorry, Patrick, to what? Conditional support. Oh, this one is a new one. Okay. Add the second push button so the East 4 and the West 8 court lights are separate. It is possible this was always to be 2 push buttons and we save 3,250. Okay, so that one is a question. Okay, we're going to wait. Okay, then I will call Erin Shetter. She wishes to speak in support.
Thank you for the upgrade to the park. I'm a strong supporter of McGaw Pickleball, and I hope that this resolution does pass. So the 2 questions, why invest more in pickleball? And secondly, why invest specifically in lights? Pickleball is the fastest growing sport in the United States and maybe even the world, with a almost 46% year-over-year increase. In the last year at McGaw Court specifically, we had, as we've collected data, 9,000 visits to the courts in a 1-year span of time, which isn't even a full year because we can't be open the full year. This year we hope to pass 10,000, and that's only the ones that we know about. We know there are more. It's a busy place, and it's a very popular place to play pickleball. McGaw specifically has been noted as a great place to be. We were number 4 in the country on Playtime Scheduler for attendance on National Pickleball Day. Little Fitchburg, Wisconsin, in terms of other big places, we were number 4. We draw a really nice crowd of people. In Business Magazine also featured McGaw Park and the inclusive nature and the atmosphere that's been developed there. All really positive press for the courts and for what's been done in Fitchburg to support pickleball. So we have beautiful courts. Why do we need lights? The largest demographic increase is in the 25 to 35-year-old age group. There are working people. It's not the old folks, the old retired folks anymore. It's younger people playing pickleball. And so with that population, we got to think about when are they available to access the courts. They can access after work. So you're talking maybe 5 o'clock, maybe 5:30. With the shortened days, they can't access the courts. Lights would make the courts accessible to this demographic group for a longer period of the day and allow them to enjoy the courts. It would also increase accessibility for our youth. All of the area school districts, Oregon, Madison, Verona, all teach pickleball as a unit of study. So we're seeing more kids come to the park, but they can only come after school or after their other sports activities. So again, lights increase the accessibility of the parks for that population. With the shortened days, our data that we've collected shows that in May, as well as in August, September, October, our attendance drops off significantly. And why? Because there aren't daylight hours to support our population. So the lights will definitely help us expand what we can offer and who we're offering to by having those lights. So,
okay, thank you. Next, I will call Carlos Castillon. He wishes to speak in support.
How you all doing? This is the first time I've ever been to such a meeting. First of all, I live in the Addison Apartments just down the road for like 7 years. When it was like 3 buildings, now it's 7 buildings, and I've noticed all the great work you guys have done. I mean, I noticed how you fixed the roads. There's more lights. The bike paths are amazing. A long time ago, I used to work at Head Start, and I noticed how you fixed that whole area. It's like incredible now. So I just want to thank you for the courts that you guys have provided to us at McGaw Park. They're like incredible. They're like really nice. I appreciate you guys giving us those 4 courts. And it would be awesome if we could have lights too. It just would be fantastic. I kind of agree with Aaron. I mean, I live at the Addison, and a lot of people there work from Epic and all these other places, and they come back from work like around 5 o'clock. So if we had lights, it definitely will increase like the 3 hours of time that we can play. But I just want to thank you for all the great work that you guys do, and I really enjoy Fitchburg, and I see a lot of all I see is improvement after improvement, and it's really nice. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. We don't have anyone else.
One more.
One more?
One more.
Oh, one more. Okay.
Uno más.
Shelley. Okay.
Hi again.
Hi.
I'm Shelley Reynolds. I am the Vice President of CAPA, Capillary Pickleball Association, and one of the founders of the local McGaw Pickleball Advisory Committee. One quick thing I want to straighten out, that everyone keeps talking about how CAPA, I saw it in the newspaper, I see it everywhere, that CAPA has done all this work here. CAPA hasn't done anything here. CAPA is an organization that helps to expand pickleball throughout the area. They're not here to help one particular or another community. They do give a grant to each community every 2 years that requests it. It's $500. So CAPA doesn't give bunches of money to people or to organizations or to the communities. That bought us our lockbox last couple years ago. So just want to straighten that out. And they don't give big, large sums of money. We don't have large sums of money. The other thing I wanted to talk about was how Our group, MPAC, has helped to grow the game of pickleball right here in Fitchburg and to support the beautiful new courts in McGaw. Our volunteers have truly put their hearts into it. We attend every open play, both mornings and evenings, all summer long. We organize 2-hour round robins, beginner classes, beginner open plays, leagues, and every single one of these is for free. That commitment has made McGaw Park one of the most attractive and welcoming pickleball communities in the Madison area. I did a little, addition and found out that I think we are about 972 hours we've put in a summer for free. And we can expand, so we can bring more people in the evenings when we do play. Aaron had mentioned that the average age is 35 now. By adding the lights, that would extend the play for these people, and we can offer more events. We can offer more fun things for families to bring them out in the evenings. It's just the lights will just expand more people coming into Fitchburg to spend money on their way out or their way in. Go to dinner, let's all go out for a beer afterwards. We're going to do that, and then it's not going to be all Fitchburg people, but a lot of Fitchburg people, but we do want to bring more people in from other communities, so that's going to be a big thing. We can't promise every program or right away. That depends on our volunteers. We have to get more volunteers. But we are going to try and bring more tournaments, large tournaments if we can, that'll bring people from all over the state in here, and we can expand it because we'll have extra courts and the lighting. But I do want to thank you all for these pickleball courts. We've truly met really great friends from there, and our communities have grown because of it. Thanks.
Thank you, Shelley. Okay. No, you can ask a question. You can ask a question to us, and maybe we respond. So I will call Adam to the microphone. So can you explain that? I want to know, we have a change order number 2. This one include the switches? Oh no, I want to be sure that we are incorporating that.
Thank you. So the change order includes the actual poles themselves.
Oh, okay.
It includes the crane to install the poles at $2,100, and then includes contingency of approximately $9,000. As part of that, we do intend to put switches on there. The cost for the switches is $3,250.
Okay.
And what the switches would do, you then could light the 4 new courts separately, which are the east courts, and could light the 4 existing 8 courts on the west side separately. Okay. So they'd have a switch, and that's the similar system we have at McKee.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I am open the forum to questions. Okay, David.
Not really a question. I sent you all an analysis of the cost of the switch versus the gain, from not having as many lights on, and I think it's a no-brainer that it makes sense to add that second switch.
Yep.
Payback either 3 to 6 years, depending.
I agree. Okay. Any comments? Oh, Laura.
Sorry, I'm not trying to take up all the verbal space in the room here tonight. I'll start by echoing Alder Herp's point, not only from the fiscal point of view, but also from the kind of the neighborhood perspective of trying to minimize any over like light pollution or light spillover. I did get one question or concern from a neighbor about just trying to find ways to minimize the lighting, and I think that having it set up so that we have the 4 courts and the 8 courts lit separately would go a long way toward that. I don't know if we can also, through the reservation system, encourage folks to start with the new ones. Hey, look, they're new and they're nicer anyway, so start with those 4 and only go to the other ones when you need them. Aaron, I'm sure you guys are going to need all 12, and we might be back here for more in a few years. But if there's a way to do that and kind of encourage folks to start a little bit further, deeper into the park to kind of be good neighbors, I think that would be well received. I did want to ask as well about the lights themselves. I had trouble visualizing what they're going to look like as far as, will they be kind of more the spotlights? Will they look more like street lights? Will they be dark sky compliance?
I want to say I sent you guys this afternoon an email that Ben put together about the lights. And it's very detailed and specific about one of your questions. So yeah, it's going to be, the fixture will be full cut-off and meet the separate guideline for that Dark Sky International has published for sport lighting. So it seems like they are going to be.
Do we know how tall those lights will be?
It's in the packet.
I wanted to say 60 feet, but I couldn't quite make it out in the packet.
It's going to be similar to the Maquis Farm Park, you know. Very similar to those ones.
Yeah, I believe it's 60 feet. Okay, I'll make my last couple comments here and then jump off my soapbox. I really like the idea of putting the lights here. I think anybody who goes on a Friday night and sees how popular these courts are will see that as we get to when it's dark at 5:30, you know, that, and, you know, we kind of look at a warmer environment in some of the winter or the fall months, we could expand the amount of playability and get more bang for our buck out of these courts by making them available for not only more people, but also to a broader population outside of Fitchburg. Had heard at one of the Pickles and Beer events that somebody came all the way from Oshkosh, which is certainly great to hear. I did want to kind of just push back a little bit or ask a question perhaps of what we've done in the past as far as asking groups like CAPA to contribute to city infrastructure projects. There was some comments in, I can't remember if it was the Parks Commissioner or Board of Public Works meeting about asking for some fundraising to make this happen. And I was wondering if we've done that, for example, with Corp at like the Quarry, is it Quarry Ridge, the off-road bike trails. So I'm just kind of curious about what our precedent is, because if we've not required that of other folks, I don't think it would be fair to require it of this project.
So for Quarry Ridge, we have an MOU with Corp as part of that project or that area. Corp does help maintain that. Corp also helps obviously build some of the features in there. We do assist them in purchasing supplies. So if there's a need for rock, a need for, I think there's some wood
equipment,
berms of some type. I think we're going to be buying soon for them, some kind of wood kind of that goes into a retaining wall kind of thing. We'll buy those. We'll pick them up and buy that. So, but they're out there doing the labor on that. That's, you know, outside of that, I'm not familiar with other projects. Obviously, besides Kids Crossing, that was a whole separate animal 24, 25 years ago. That's the only one off the cuff that I can think of, unless, Chad, you can think of any off the top of your head.
The Inclusive Playground was another project where there was some partnership, public-private partnership. I think ultimately it ends up being a common council call if they direct staff that a project is only going to proceed based upon outside contributions. Otherwise, typically the city has funded those through the variety of sources of funds that it has available. In this case, most of the park improvements are done with fee in lieu of parkland dedication dollars or park impact fees. So there's not necessarily typically a bunch of property tax levy utilized for park enhancements.
And just to wrap up then, I think of, Adam, you just mentioned about how Corp is involved in maintaining that, the trails. I think a very close analogy would be all the programming, was it 970 hours or something you said, Shelley? So I think that demonstrates a commitment that I would like to recognize. So I'll be moving forward with this.
Can you also explain, because it is a lot of confusion about that we are taking the funds from one park to put it in this one. Can you explain why we are doing this? And I want to mention this. When I approach Adam for the light, I say, there is any money out there that we can find to cover the light? And he said, I want to check with Misty. Okay? So, and they recommended to do this. So it wasn't Julia's idea. Okay? I am not taking the money from one park to the other one because there is a lot of confusion and misinformation out there. So that one was recommended by our, city deputy administrator.
Not parks director.
Park director, that one. Park director the interim parks director and our finance director. So can you explain why we need to use this fund?
Yeah, that's an accurate statement. When you approached us, you said, what are the ideas? Is there money available?
Yeah.
So Misty and I spoke, our finance director and I spoke. We identified the Artisan Village funds, which is in the Southdale neighborhood. And the reason for that is with park fees, there's a time limit on when those have to be spent down. And for that development, those fees have to be spent by April of 2027. And if we don't spend those, we then return those back to the developer. So as we looked at this, we went to the lowest one, or the ones that's expiring the nearest, and that's why that one was selected. I know concerns have been raised about, obviously, we're doing improvements in Southdale. The new playground should be installed next week, off this topic, but that's one of the improvements we're making. We have other improvements that we'll be making here in 2026, and there's a potential concern about, is there additional funds available if there's a need in that park? You know, we still have approximately $900,000 in residual funds for when we, attach the town of Madison. Those are funds that are potentially available to, if there are additional park improvements in that area, that we could look at expending those funds as well. We also have some additional funds left from the Artisan Village account as well too. The challenge also with these park fees, it has to be used for new amenities as well. It's the one thing you have to remember. It's if you're in Southdale, you can't just for the playground equipment. We didn't use park fee for that. We actually used some of those town of Madison residual funds because we took the existing equipment and put it in the same spot as the old equipment, so we couldn't use those park fees for it. So if there's a concern about being there sufficient funds, we do have that money left over from town of Madison, which ultimately will be a common council call of how that money is spent, whether it be on park improvements or something else possibly in that area.
Who is next, Micah? Okay.
So I just want to thank a couple people. I want to thank Alder Herbst for doing those calculations. That was really helpful, and it was really nice to know. It's super supportive of that switch, whatever we have to do. That makes perfect sense. And then I want to thank the community for coming out tonight and for just advocating for this over the last couple months. When I came out to your event, I was pretty impressed with what I told you this earlier, with the diversity of people that were out there. I mean, age diversity, demographic diversity, athletic ability diversity. You really are inclusive and welcoming of everyone, and I really appreciate that. We came here for the finance meeting a couple weeks ago, and our levy for next year basically covers keeping our existing staff on staff. We don't have money for new programs and new things and things like that. And so we are going to have to get used to, as a city, partnering with community organizations and neighborhood organizations and people that are passionate about things and that want to make our city better. The one thing that we do have a little leeway in doing is capital costs. I mean, it is easier for us to spend money on capital costs than it is for year-to-year operating costs. And that is a perfect partnership to say that we can install things like lights and pickleball courts, and community organizations can do things like run programming and teach people and have classes and organize people together to create community events. And I think that that's great. And I think that in the past, maybe all of those things would have fallen on a city. But with budgets the way they are now and the way things are going, we are going to have to get comfortable and partner with people in the community that want to make their city a better place. And so I hope that we can do that more in the future. And I want to thank you all for coming out. And yeah, that's all I have to say. So thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments?
Oh, and also one more thing. Thank you for coming out. You have a Brewers shirt on. You came out during the Brewers game. So I know that you're serious. So they're down 2-1. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'll echo a lot of Micah said. Thank you all for being here tonight. We waited quite a while on these lights. I know we talked about this back, I want to say more than 4 years ago when we first put in the 12, with the 8 courts. And I think it was appropriate to wait because at that time, we were still in the planning phases for the Hub Park on Traceway. We had not yet made plans for the Southdale Park, and I think there was a lot of conversation about wanting to make sure we had funding available for those parks and those Healthy Neighborhoods Initiative neighborhoods. And now that it's very clear that we have the funding available, I think it's really appropriate to make this investment at this time. It's a good investment for our community. Obviously, it's a passionate community. I talk to a lot of passionate people in this job. That's what's one of the most fun parts about it. But I have to say pickleball is like up there in terms of passionate communities, like maybe at the top. So it's always great to see y'all come out and be passionate about the hobby that you love. So I think this is a great investment for the city. I think if a pickleball association wanted to do some fundraising for something smaller, like a bench or like a shade structure or picnic table or whatever, that could be great. But I think the main infrastructure of a facility, the courts and the fencing and the lights should be paid for by the city. So happy that we were able to make this happen and still have park funding available, and excited to see this go up. And I believe that Adam said in finance that possibly by December of this year.
Yes.
End of December. By the end of 2025, we may see lights. So
New Year's Eve party with the pickleball lights.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, I'm going to say some comments. So I want to say thank you very much to you all, Shelley, Erin, and your team, for all, I am playing pickleball, I am taking private lesson there, and I have been on weekdays in the afternoon, and it's full pack, it's incredible. And I want to say thank you to Patrick Cheney, because he sent me a link about a comment that I made in 2021. Okay? And in that comment, I say, when we install the first 8, why we are not putting lights here. So, but I want to say thank you for all you're doing for pickleball and in our community. And I think that with the light, there are going to be opportunity to bring tournaments, bring more people to Fitchburg, and they can, bring some, expend money here in the community. And I want to mention 2 other things. When I am there, I ask people, where are you? And some people say, oh, I'm coming from Onona or Middleton. I say, why are you coming here? Because they really enjoy our court. And also the day of the ribbon cutting, and there was a woman that approached me. I don't know her name, but maybe you know her son, Anthony. And she says, thank you very much for investing in this type of court. Anthony has a disability. And they said, look at him, he was playing. And I said, he is here and enjoying, and the people from this group are teaching him how to count the point or something like that, because he cannot hear. So, and when we say about that this sport is inclusive, there are people with disability playing. So it was like, wow, I say, because there is also misconception about who plays this sport. So I want to tell you that it was, she was very happy that he found a place where he can feel inclusive, and playing and have fun. So I want to say thank you for making that happen. So, and that's it. You have a final word?
I just want to ask you.
Okay.
Sorry, dollar in the swear jar. I forgot to turn my mic on. I just wanted to see if we are voting on the resolution as approved by Parks, or the one approved or voted on and approved by Public Works with an amendment, which would be to modify the electrical to have the ability to turn on the court's individual, or I believe it's the 8 and the 4.
I think the one Adam mentioned that we are.
I don't think that was formally amended by Public Works. I think they asked staff to look into it, and the price is $3,250. We have enough in contingency. We're gonna do that unless anyone here nods their head and says don't do it. So that was our intention, because the dollar.
Yeah, it wasn't an amendment. It was a recommendation.
About amendment, and Adam said, well, let me get the price and get it to you guys, and we'll go from there. So I believe it should be the initial referendum or resolution.
It was more like a recommendation, yeah.
Okay, it was just listed as an amendment. I just wanted to double check.
It's great clarification. I think it's very clear from the council's comments this evening that they support the use of the contingency funding for those switches, so that's how staff will proceed.
Okay, any other comment, question? All those in favor of resolution R-171-25, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Okay, thank you. Finally. Okay, so next we move to the library board.
We only report is we will meet tomorrow with our new member. Thanks for sticking around for the good part of the meeting here, Brett.
Thank you. Next, Commission of Aging Well, no report. Next, we move to Resource Conservation Commission.
Yes, I'll start with a little update from RCC. We met last night. We had a presentation by Mike Gilbertson with the Watershed Program. He's the Watersheds Programs Coordinator with MMSD, the Sewerage District. So we take part in the Yahara Winds program to manage our phosphorus runoff. And so there was interesting presentation last night, and you can go back and watch the video. I think it's worth your time. We discussed our 2025 annual report and the 2026 calendar of events. Our first Green Thursdays event will be November 6th at the library. We'll be watching the documentary The 11th Hour, which is from 2007. So it'll be interesting to see how well that movie has held up.
When is that?
November 6th.
Can you send us a
yes,
reminder? Okay.
I will do that.
Thank you.
Ryan Hutter, one of the RCC commissioners, continues to work with Andy Potts, chair of the Bike and Ped Commission, on organizing joint bike and walk events. The UW has a program called Badger Talks. There's a speaker list there, and so they've been poring over that list to try and find somebody to talk about stormwater management, or an expert on something like Dunn's Marsh. And we're hoping to do a walk around Dunn's Marsh this fall. The food scrap collection bins that we talked about at a previous meeting are going to be placed near the Swan Creek shelter by the end of this month.
Why there? We decided that it wasn't a good idea.
Well, we decided that the recycling drop-off center wasn't a good idea.
We decided that maybe we should put it in District 1, one of those apartment complexes.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. Ben is no longer here, but it is relatively near the uptown Fitchburg area. There's a lot of multifamily housing there.
Can they rotate? Can we move
Yes.
them around? Okay.
Yes. When is that? They will be placed by the end of October.
And how we are gonna? How people will know about this?
I'll reach out to Ben and ask him for an update on how the outreach efforts will go.
Yeah. And I'll note, it was brought up last night at the meeting that the New York Times travel section, they've got a 36 hours in fill in the blank city, and they had one for Madison.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
Sleepy little Madison.
Yes, okay. And, Phil is here. I presume he will guide us through our resolution, but maybe you can also mention about getting us an updated Soul Smart designation while you're up here.
Okay.
With that, I will go ahead and move approval of Resolution R-17325 to join the Wisconsin Local Government Climate Coalition.
Second.
RCC approved.
Okay, thank you. Who is gonna, Phil, you're gonna go ahead with this?
Yes, hi.
Okay.
So Phil Grouping, the Sustainability Specialist for Fitchburg. This resolution, pretty straightforward. It approves entrance into the Wisconsin Local Government Climate Coalition. This is a nonprofit coalition of local governments around the state that began in 2020. Got their first executive director about a year and a half ago, or 2023. and it's accelerated since then. So I believe the supporting document that is in the packet is already fairly outdated. It states that there are 22 member organizations in Wisconsin covering a third of the state's population. Verona was just approved into the Local Government Climate Coalition last month. That makes the 40th community. The LGCC now covers communities representing 40% of Wisconsin's population. So what the LGCC does is this is a network that helps to amplify any of our individual voices. Typically, sustainability professionals are at most 1.0 FTE in any local government. It's a rare few municipalities that have more than one staffer. So there's a limit to what we can accomplish individually. These networks are really important for helping to amplify our voices, helping to share resources, network with similar communities who are pursuing similar goals. In this case, it's advancing climate action and trying to pursue help to push us along a green transition that benefits the community, benefits everyone in the community equally. So they help to advise on policy briefs. There are some cases where the LGCC will, as a collective, maybe release a statement on certain policy issues in a way that wouldn't be easy or even appropriate for individual members to do so. But there's also a lot of this information sharing and networking. The requirement for the municipality to join, one is to pass a resolution. That's what you have in front of you tonight. I would be expected to join 1 hour meeting every month. So that's 12 hours a year of my time that would be taken up, as well as possibly some smaller working group time. One of the working groups this year launched 2 playbooks for local governments to help accelerate their transition to a greener, lower carbon grid and to help electrify transportation in their communities. So this is the kind of thing that I've already experienced with the Green Tier Legacy communities through the state DNR, through Dane County's local Sustainable Leaders Collaborative. The time that I put into these tends to be multiplied many times over in terms of what is returned, accelerating my work and providing those resources. So happy to leave it there. If you have questions, I can try to answer them. But yeah, that's the gist of this resolution.
Okay. Glad that we are doing this. Okay. Any question, comments? Okay. Go ahead. Who is? Gabriela. And then Bill, do you want to say something? No.
I was just pointing.
Yeah, thank you so much for bringing this to us. I think it's outstanding. I think we do a lot of great things in this city, thanks to your leadership and the leadership of many people across the city. And I think that not only are we going to learn a lot from this organization, but I think people are going to learn from us as well. And I think it's outstanding. It is urgent and important for us to continue having these conversations because as local governments, of course, we can work to limit our, carbon output. But ultimately, a lot of what we have to do is adapt to a changing world. That's the reality that we live in, and we can only do so much as a local government. So we need to be ready for those things, and the more information that we can share, the better prepared we're going to be. So I appreciate you bringing this forward and excited that we'll be able to join. Thanks, Phil.
Thank you. Logan.
I just had one quick question. Is there a membership fee or cost with this at all? I didn't see it in the packet.
There's no fee. I could have asked their executive director to come here and speak to this a little more clearly. I believe they're funded through public-private partnerships, a lot of grant funding. This fall, there was a $250,000 grant that they received in partnership with the Dane County Office of Energy and Climate Change to help expand clean energy jobs and resources throughout Dane County. So I believe things like that are where their funding comes from, but there's no financial expectation from us. One thing I didn't mention, I did say that Verona was their latest member. We would be in good company locally because Dane County, Madison, Middleton, Sun Prairie, Monona, McFarland, Shorewood Hills, and Verona all count themselves as members. And I hope I'm not leaving anyone out from the county, but certainly all of them are currently members. So we'd be joining all our neighbors and friends.
Oh, it's raining? No. Okay. Okay. And any other question, comment? No? Okay. Thank you, Phil. All in favor of resolution R-173-25 say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carried. Thank you. So next we move to Transportation and Transit Commission.
Yeah, the one discussion item from our last meeting, which would have been last Thursday, was reviewing some other examples of requests for proposals for comprehensive safety action plans. That's kind of the next step after we passed our Vision Zero resolution earlier this year. That would be looking into starting to actually formulate the more nitty-gritty details of what does this actually mean for the city. So more to come on that.
Okay, thank you. Community and Economic Development Authority. Joe.
Yes. So we had a meeting we have our next meeting on October 23rd, but I am introducing resolution R-178-25, approving a scope of services between the City of Fitchburg and Vanderwall Associates for the City in Motion Economic Vision and Strategy Update 2025 and the cost sharing agreement between the City of Fitchburg and the Fitchburg Visitor Business Bureau for the City in Motion Economic Vision and Strategy Update 2025.
Second.
Okay, did CEDA approve this?
Yes.
Finance Committee?
Finance approved.
Okay, thank you. So, Joe, do you want to explain what it is? Mike Zimmerman is here in the chamber. Do you want him to explain what we are trying to do here?
Sure. I'll let Mike take on the explanation. Thank you.
No Brewers gear tonight, Mike?
Good evening. This is our City in Motion Economic Development Strategic Plan. The original one was done in 2012. The update was done in 2018, which brought us the new brand. And both of these documents and versions, we worked with Vanderwall and Associates. So we're looking to utilize Vanderwall. Again, they know Fitchburg well. This is a plan that doesn't sit on the shelf, that we continue to use and refer to implement strategic directions and action items. But a lot has changed since the last update in 2018. We're post-COVID. There's a question of what's the future of office space, which a lot of our neighborhood plans are kind of premised on. So it's just, we're in need of another refresh and update. This is a public-private partnership where we work with our Fitchburg Chamber Visitor Business Bureau. That's the reason for the cost share of $20,000. We've got $25,000 of ARPA TID money, and then the balance is from CEDA, utilizing room tax dollars to go towards the update. So we're excited about it. The kickoff meeting is going to be November 20th. You'll get an invite for that. It's a kickoff with the council, CEDA, and the chamber board as well. So it's a public-private partnership. You'll also see in the scope of services, there's kind of a developers roundtable, which is something that we've been wanting to do to bring the development community together to find out what's working well in Fitchburg, where there's some systems and processes improvements. But there's also 3 other kind of priority workshops that we're going to be asking at that kickoff meeting. What are those 3 kind of specific topic areas that we would like to delve a little bit more in depth on? And it could be everything from arts and culture to workforce to there was a list of 5 or 6 things there to see what makes sense for our community at this kind of life cycle and junction for us. So we're excited to hit the ground running, and we'll have hopefully an updated version by the end of the first half of 2026. Any other questions?
No, I want to mention that I remember the 2018. I was part of that cohort when we put together the revised version, and it was a great exercise. So I will invite all of you to participate in this.
Can I just make one, when I said it doesn't sit on the shelf, one that was a stretch goal in here was about the school there and kind of positioning Fitchburg somehow for a high school. And I would have never thought that we had made progress on that with this document, working with our partners at the Verona Area School District. But all of a sudden the stars aligned, and we're positioned, and our community now is positioned for one of those catalytic generational opportunities that in hopefully 20 years there will be a high school physically located in Fitchburg with one of our school districts. So just goes to show you that we have kind of immediate goals, but we have kind of the stretch ones too. But you never know when you might move one of those stretch ones forward.
And also we envision all the uptown
Yes.
growth and the fish hatchery corridor vision.
Yeah.
And, so it was great. So, okay, comment?
Just wanted to reiterate about the funding sources, since I know I sometimes get questions about that. So the total is around 77,000.
77,400. Yep.
And so 25,000 of that's coming from the TID closure. So that's one-time money that's being used for this. $20,000 is from the chamber, and then the remainder, 32,500 or so, is from CETA dollars. But that is hotel room tax. So when anyone stays in the city in a hotel, they pay a tax. 70% of that money goes to the chamber, and 30% of that money goes to us, and that's what we use for economic development in the city. So when people see those wayfinding signs, when they talk about plans like this, that's coming from room tax dollars. So it's a really good use of money, and just wanted to point out where the money for this plan is coming from.
Okay, any other comments? Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
We need to settle the vote, so I will do a roll call, please. Tracy?
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay.
Alder Dancer Jr. is absent. Alder Gerhart.
Aye.
Alder Herps.
Aye.
Alder Jetzer.
Aye.
Alder Lattice.
Aye.
Alder Maldonado.
Aye.
Alder Ragsted.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. So next we move to the Ag and Rural Affairs Committee. Okay, we don't. Oh, Mike.
We meet next Tuesday, the 21st.
Thank you. Bicycle and Pedestrian Commission. Joe. He's fighting with Naya. Joe, do you want to add anything in there for the Bicycle and Pedestrian Commission?
I apologize. Sorry, fatherhood calls. Our last meeting was October 3rd. A few highlights from the meeting. We had Sean Koval, who many of you may know, used to be with UW Health. He's actually on the Wisconsin Bike Fed, and he introduced himself and just kind of talked about the initiatives that the Bike Fed is taking on. We had Chair Potts give a governor's bicycle coordinating council update. We had a committee of the whole presentation overview, and then Bill took us through the city website GIS mapping tools that our esteemed staff, Dakota, manages. Our next meeting is December 3rd.
So any update on the bike and pedestrian plan?
No, we didn't cover that in the meeting.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you, Joe. Next one is EMS. We don't have any other representation right now. So anything that we need to add? No, isn't it? Oh, the meeting.
You covered that in your mayor's report.
Yeah, and then the meeting.
What time is the meeting?
7 here.
Thank you.
Okay, and then we move to Healthy Neighborhood Committee, and who is going to move this? We need to...
Actually, we are looking for a motion to postpone indefinitely.
Who can do that?
I'll move to postpone Resolution R19624 indefinitely.
Second.
Just an update for Common Council, anyone who's interested. Mayor Arata Frada, Deputy City Administrator Adam Sayre, and I have had a conversation on how best to move forward with the strategic plan. We do believe that there are a number of components with the strategic plan that has been created through the process to date, as well as what's in the draft. Unfortunately, due to staff capacity and expertise, we have not had the ability to update this particular document. And in conversation with the three of us, we believe a path forward would include, due to the amount of time that has passed since this plan was originally developed, we're talking nearly a year. We've got new faces in Common Council since this original draft was developed, that it would be appropriate to have another work group similar to the one in which we had when this plan was originally kicked off. That work group involving city staff and elected officials. Would be our intent to have that work group facilitated by an outside individual with training and experience in facilitating these conversations, as well as ultimately and ideally utilizing the existing draft plan and helping us to finalize that plan based upon reevaluation of the contents of the draft and further conversation with the Common Council and city staff. And it would be our hope that that work begins in the first quarter of 2026. Anything you want to add at all, Mayor, in regards to the conversation?
No, I want to mention that, the plan, the current whatever plan we have, it has, as you mentioned, has good bones, but I think we need to revise it. The priorities are the same. So I think we need to finalize this plan in 26. But and so that one is the idea that how we move forward, because Adam was very involved with this, but then he was capacity with with the school retirement, he took over the park department, so that one also affected his capacity to to move forward with this. And then after a year of this plan is supposed to be done by last year by November, and so I think it makes sense that we can all work together and determine how to move forward. So okay, so keep in touch. More is coming. Yes.
A couple questions. First of all, if we have to bring in somebody who has more expertise in kind of facilitating a meeting in sometime in 26, do we expect that to add any significant amount to the budget at that point?
So we are using TID closure funds, one-time money for this, not tax levy. And we have not fully utilized the original budget that was allocated for this project. So there is still funding that could be utilized if we were to bring in that outside assistance.
Okay. I guess I am just kind of struggling with this one because I fully recognize Adam's capacity, and he's doing a lot of great work in the world of parks, which I want to acknowledge. I also want to just acknowledge that there was quite a bit of work that was done by committees, by my predecessor, by others. And by my count, postponing it tonight, this would be the 7th time we've postponed this. So I really struggle with making this feel as if it's not a priority, and whether that sends a message to those who've contributed thus far that the work is kind of, to steal Mike's analogy from earlier, sitting on a shelf, 80% complete, 60% complete, whatever it is. And I worry that might have a chilling effect in the future of somebody saying, why would I participate if this was supposed to be done in November and now it's a year later and we're looking at least another 6-8 months?
I will say that everything that you say makes sense. You're right. And this is why we need to, this is why we discussed this topic this morning, because I went through my list, and this is an outstanding item. And this is why I think we have an action plan. I want to start in our first quarter in 2026, at least to have a meeting with the head of the department, Common Council, as a big group, and determine what are the things, if those priorities that we already have in the plan, are the same priority that we want to move forward. This is the city priority or something that we need to change. And what are the things that we need to revise. It's not like the consultant is going to come and redo the whole thing from scratch. No, it's not going to help us to finish this. But I think I agree with you. What you say, makes sense. Everything that you said, and yeah, some of those are my concern too. But we have a plan now. Anyone else want to say something?
I hope we end up keeping pieces of it because I think there's some good stuff in there.
Yeah.
Especially with how I think some of the internal processes I think could be helpful. So
yeah. Okay. Okay. So all those in favor of postponing indefinitely the resolution R-196-24, say aye.
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 Any opposed? The motion
Nay.
carries. Okay. We have one nay. Okay. Thank you, Lauren. So then we move to the Housing Advisory Committee.
Yes, we met yesterday. Let me just pull up my notes real quick. Some updates from the department. There's going to be a funders forum on November 14th. It's really to discuss down payment assistance and trying to bring in people in the community that might be involved in that in some way. So if just wanted everyone to be aware, they're partnering with the Realtors Association to do this. The housing plan is still moving forward in phase 2. We got an update about that relatively recently, so I won't belabor that. There's also work being happening with the Avante Lido apartments. Potentially, this would be a pilot for doing affordable units in a market rate building, up to 10% affordable units. And so city staff is working on that, and hopefully that it's a model that could be used elsewhere in the city. And then the Gorman team, Gary Gorman's team is still working to identify land. That's still on hold until we can, it's not on hold, but it's moving forward. It's just we have to identify a piece of land before things can be moving forward. Then we had a discussion. We broke into small groups and kind of looked at some RFPs from other communities and also draft RFPs for us specifically about land banking and acquisition of land. Kind of dug into that and made suggestions for staff about how to improve that and how to do it well.
Can I ask a question about that?
Yes.
So, are you planning to implement some policies that is going to come to council for approval? What is the process?
So I think the next step is for wanted feedback before the final policy was final RFP policy was drafted, and then it will eventually come. So more information to come, but we're still in the early processes. But this is kind of what needs to get done in order for us to move forward with the land banking. And then the second thing, in terms of the Dane County Regional Housing Strategy, the zoning guidance document is about to be released. We actually utilized some of that content for our zoning updates. So it was already being used, but the official document is about to be released. But there was also an update from the leader, Olivia Perry, that the new Dane County budget actually eliminates 2 regional housing strategy positions, one of which is currently there. The other one is a 3-year thing that had been approved, and Olivia's fundraising for 50% of the salary, but it has been eliminated in the budget. There is a meeting on October 17th, where the supervisors will discuss this. I will forward you this information. I'm going to write a letter to our supervisors to let them know how important these positions are and how much this could potentially disrupt some of the good housing work that's being done at local governments. If you want to, the meeting date is October 17th, so it needs to happen soon. I'll send that right now as we speak. And yeah, I just wanted to make you aware of that. I will also say that, Fitchburg, we now have a housing specialist. We have an economic development team that can work on housing. But some of the small communities that don't have any dedicated housing staff, they're the ones that are really going to suffer if those positions are eliminated, because Dane County can provide a lot of services. So while a community like ours will probably be able to move forward on housing initiatives, other communities won't. And that is obviously this is a regional problem. And if everyone's not working towards the solution, things will only get worse. So I do think it's important and wanted to share that information with the council. Thank you.
Yeah, there is 11 communities that they don't have a planner. And the Dane County provided some of the technical assistance. So, okay, thank you. Landmark Preservation Commission. I think we have some
What if
updates.
I said something other than no report?
First time in 6 years.
Got to keep you on your toes. So I did meet with the chair of the Landmarks Preservation Commission last week and had a conversation about some outstanding items that we could possibly look at getting into an agenda and getting a meeting on the books, primarily about using and I may butcher the details of this, but it was using a plan or a study that was generated sometime several years ago, it might have even been right before the pandemic, to identify buildings that maybe qualify as historic structures and reaching out to the property owners of them who would have to elect into that designation, but that could then open them up to additional funding from outside sources, for the state, the tax credits. But the property owners have to opt in. So this plan's been sitting on the shelf, and there's an action item there to hopefully get work with planning and zoning to get that on the out to those property owners. Because if they have a white house and they paint it blue, that could then mean it's no longer qualifies. So the longer we wait, the more risk there is. So hopefully with the neighborhood plans wrapping up, hopefully now that could be something that could be added back to the agenda. There were a couple other items, but that was kind of the big takeaway one.
Good to know. Okay. Street Advisory Committee.
So we had the open house for the urban forestry management plan. They presented a draft of the survey data. There were some people that showed up, and we received good feedback to incorporate into the plan, so that was good. And then we actually don't meet again. We only have one meeting left for the year, so we scheduled it for December 4th in the hopes that we will have a draft of the plan by then that we can review. So we won't meet again until December.
Okay, thank you. Do you know when is the idea to finalize? Is the first quarter in 26?
I think so. Yeah, okay. I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Community Equity Committee. Okay, they are not meeting because I need to appoint the last member. I already moving forward with one application. This person is going to come forward to council on October 28th is our next meeting? Yes. Okay. So then we move to the standing committee reports. We will start with the Finance Committee.
I'll start with the report in regards to the budget process. Many of you are familiar, but just a reminder. Obviously, we had our first public hearing tonight. Amendments are due Thursday at 4:30 p.m. That's this Thursday at 4:30 p.m., so be aware of that deadline. They will be released to the public about 1 week later. On our committee, October Committee of the Whole, October 29th, which is a different day than normal, we will discuss the amendments with unlimited amount of time. And then the council meeting at November 11th will be a final public hearing. And then we're going to have limited discussion that are set out by rules that we can discuss in depth at the Committee of the Whole meeting, so everyone's aware. And that's all for the report, and I will move the resolution. I will move approval of Resolution R-16925, approving an agreement between the City of Fitchburg and Zebra Dog for the design and installation of a community and historical exhibit at the City of Fitchburg City Hall.
Second.
Finance Committee approved.
Okay, what is this?
This is a contract to design and install the history exhibit that we've discussed for a little while. Zebra Dog is a local company. They are the ones that designed our branding and our Fitchburg logo. So they've done pretty extensive research on the city in the lead up in the process. So they already have some background at the city. The Historical Society is also going to be consulted. Had to move $10,000. So I believe there's a budget amendment associated with this because the money has to move. Total cost for this is $37,400.
Okay, so I will call Mike Zimmerman to the microphone so he can explain what we're trying to do here. And from where the funding is coming.
This would be the Community and History Wall exhibit proposed by Mayor Julia here. So initially there was $10,000 identified in TID closure increment for this project, and we had an internal work group that was also including representatives from the Fitchburg Historical Society. As we got into the project, we felt we needed expertise, marketing and design expertise to kind of guide us through this process and ultimately to do the final product for it. The space that we're talking about is as you come into City Hall, the wall to the right across from the front counter where the clerk's department is, where the mural photos used to be that were now moved down the hallway there. And so we've got a proposal from Zebra Dog for $37,400, which takes us from developing the concept to the design of what it's going to look like and what the elements are going to include to then the full installation of the project there. So it's going to be seamless. We're fortunate that we have local talent here. As far as Zebra Dog, they were the ones that developed our city logo. Mark Schmitz lives in Fitchburg, and we get very good value added from the proposals that they put together for us, as well as the vision and the design. They're really good at the storyboarding and the storytelling. And I think they're the perfect partner for us to work with on this project and to not only get it done, but to get it done right and to have something that's more than just a static wall and something that kind of stands the test of time and hopefully incorporates some technology so we can keep it fresh and updated as time goes on. So with that, there is a budget amendment because it's moving from an operating expense to a capital expense. So we're looking for the budget amendment for $40,000, but it's all coming from that one-time money, the TID excess increment there. Any questions?
We have some. I guess I'm just recommending tap into the existing families here that have such a strong historical ties here. McKees, Lacey's, Richardson's. They may have significant. They may just. I'm my family's historian, and I have. I'm not from here, but those families I suspect have the same thing, and don't hesitate to reach out to them and say, do you have some things significant that that would be appropriate to have on there?
Sure.
We are reaching out through the Fitchburg Historical Society. You know what I mean? They are the one who have all the. I don't know. You have been in the website, the books that they have published. And I agree with you. But this is why we are reaching out to them.
Thank you, Mayor.
And we'll mention that to the Zebra Dog team when we get started too. They'll guide us through that process, but I'll let them know that if there's a call that we want to put out to some of the longtime families for anything, that we can assist and help with that communication to them.
Mike.
To tack onto that, I think, if this is a history wall, I assume there's going to be some sort of agriculture component to it. And I think like an ag and rural would be a really good resource too. There's a ton of history there. I'm happy to facilitate discussions there if we want to, but I think that's another really good resource to go to for them.
Yeah. Thank you.
Any other, Logan?
I will +1 that from landmarks.
Okay.
Whoa. Okay. We have an internal group. So
I was going to say, I think we've got some more volunteers for the work group here.
Yeah.
Is what I'm hearing.
Yes, Gabriela.
And just one comment, we obviously have a very rich history in the city over the last 200 years, but our history does go back farther than the 1800s, and I just want to make sure that we do acknowledge history that goes farther back in the wall. So sometimes I think that gets lost because of how much wonderful information we have for the last 200 years. Thanks.
And I will just say that in some of the early conversations with Zebra Dog, that came up as far as our entire history here. So I think they're already that's already in their mindset.
Okay. Any other comments? Good question. Good comments. All those in favor? Oh, I need 2/3. I need to do roll call, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Alder Dancer Jr. is absent. Alder Gerhardt.
Aye.
Alder Herbst.
Aye.
Alder Jetzer.
Aye.
Alder Lattice.
Aye.
Alder Maldonado.
Aye.
Alder Ragsted.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thanks again,
Thank you,
everybody.
Mike. Okay.
Thank you, Mike.
Next, we move to Personnel Committee. Who is in the Personnel Committee?
Donald.
Joe? Okay.
No updates on my end.
Okay, thank you. Public Safety and Human Services.
A couple things going on. November 7th, the Boys and Girls Club, they're having a youth recognition event. You know, they've from the 4 schools, they've had students submit in their written essays, and they're going to give a kind of a speech, and it's a fundraiser, and it's November 7th at the Boys and Girls Club, and you can get a drink there too if you. I guess trying to apply you to get more donations. Then December 13th at Agora, the chamber is having, it's kind of a holiday event on the 13th, kind of little kickoff, and they have a lot of events, a lot of things going on there. So please, 4 to 8 p.m. And I think those were the only ones. Logan, do you remember another one?
That was December 13th?
December 13th, Gabrielle.
Oh, my birthday. Okay, thank you, David.
Acknowledgement of that during the festivities?
No. Okay, so next we move to unfinished business. We don't have anything, and then we move to new business, and we have a direct referral.
I'll move approval of Resolution R-19325, approving the purchase of police vehicle.
Second.
Finance Committee approved.
Okay, what is this?
This is another vehicle as part of the reorganization of the department. This is for a detective sergeant. They are currently in the hiring process and actually are hoping to get approval for the hire at tomorrow's Police and Fire Commission meeting. So it is obviously underway, and the car is needed ASAP. They found a sufficient car that's on a lot for $44,000. They can basically pick it up immediately if this is approved tonight. They will eventually need equipment to build out. Like, it's not quite as extensive as a squad car, but it will need some things, but that can wait for now. And they're uncertain of the exact cost of that one, but it will be done as soon as they're able. And this is net neutral cost with the reorganization. They included the cost of the vehicles in that calculation.
Okay, any question, comments? All those in favor of Resolution R-193-25, say aye.
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 Any opposed? The motion carries. Thank you. And next we move to Alder District reports. And we will start with District 4.
All right, I already mentioned the Urban Forestry Management Open House. I attended the District 4 listening session, which was good to see people there. I did do the week without driving. I made it until Sunday at 7 p.m., in which I had to take my daughter somewhere. But I biked. I did a really cool nighttime bike ride home from softball on the bike paths. That was really cool. So I mean, it was really eye-opening, and just I had to negotiate a bunch of rides with like people that were already going to school, like for the homecoming event in Verona with my daughter. So like it was a good perspective on just seeing how people have to kind of negotiate not having a car. And went to the Oak Bank Pumpkin Giveaway and the Fire Department Open House. The fact that those two are at the same time is awesome right now. That event is becoming really cool. And we'll have another council meeting by then, but just because it's a good event, trick-or-treat hours are 4 to 7. Everybody should know that. So get out. I hope to see Chico out there the same way I saw Drago every year. So, and the most important event, this Thursday at the Farmers Market, the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile will be present at the Farmers Market. And this is a big feature of my childhood, was when that would show up places. So you can all show up and see that. Did I miss something? You told me I was supposed to... The tour of what?
Housing tour.
Oh, right. Yes, we toured the thing we did yesterday that I don't remember. So we toured the senior housing development it's in the old Westgate Mall location, basically next to Hy-Vee on Whitney Way. And it's going to be similar to what they are proposing to build on Nesbitt Road for the senior housing development there. And it was very nice, like the amenities and we saw one of the apartments, and it was really nicely laid out. And yeah, so it was it should be a cool development.
Thank you. District number 3.
All right. I, too, took part in the week without driving. I made it the whole way, but I'm only saying that because if it had gone one more day, I would not have, because I was almost out of food and living in Swan Creek, and we don't have our grocery store on that side of town. I was not willing to do an entire big grocery run on my bike. I'm not coordinated enough to handle that type of responsibility. Otherwise, Alder Dantzler and I held a listening session October 4th at the Limerick Senior Housing and Townhouses in Uptown. Couple main themes that I've sent out to some folks here at City Hall. There was a lot of support for our proposal in the budget and our transit plan to expand transit, both Route 65 and 75, and the paratransit service. There was probably half a dozen people there, and I think most, if not all of them, would be using that service. So I just want to continue to point that out. Also support for community building initiatives, however we can kind of bring people together. There were some positive comments about the teen center as well, which was certainly nice to hear from a population that struggles to get to the senior center right now, but yet they recognize the value of having those resources. And of course, getting to them, that was one of the questions that they wanted to get answered. Speaking of transit, also have just seen a lot of folks on Route 65 lately, hopefully avoiding driving on John Nolan Drive in Madison with the construction that we've now been getting into and will be going on for what feels like an eternity. Counted at one point, I'm just saying this for the record here, I counted 18 people as we crossed over the Beltline into the city of Madison, the last stop from when I got on to the last stop serving Fitchburg. So if anybody ever says who rides the bus, the nurses and the students and the kids coming home from the library or from classes, fellow university employees. There's a lot of folks that rely on that transit. So you'll be hearing me say a lot more about that. Other than that, I think that's all I've got for tonight.
Can you mention about the development that is coming for the Sean O'Brien? Is already coming? Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, townhomes. Yeah.
Yes, Uptown Hills. That's the affordable townhouse project, 24 units on Haight Farm Road. That work has begun. And that's a project that has received our support and county support and WIDA support as well. So kind of showing all the different levels that have to go into making these types of projects a reality.
Thank you. District 2.
I'll put a pitch in for the November 9th Fitchburg Historical Society event. They're doing, it's around prisoner of war camps in Wisconsin. It sounds pretty interesting. So that's going to be 1:30 p.m. on November 9th at the Fitchburg Library. Also, we are currently in a brush and yard waste pickup week, but the next weeks are the week of October 27 and the week of November 10. There's a great website on the Fitchburg webpage that kind of explains how to prepare your stuff. And just in case you didn't already know, you can get a free yard waste poly bag from City of Fitchburg. First one is free. Any additional ones are $2. Just come to the front desk or give a call to the clerk and they'll let you know how to come pick it up. And then last thing, I wasn't really going to talk about this, but I went on vacation last week. I was on a scuba dive trip halfway around the world in the Maldives. And 4 of my constituents were on the boat with me. I had 4 people that literally live like a 2-minute walk from me.
Really?
They live separately, but they know each other. And it was wild. I mean, the trip was organized by Madison Scuba, so most people were local, but never expected to have 4 people, Fitchburg residents, but we got to know each other really well. And A dive trip can be, it's a lot of watching each other's back because it's a dangerous sport and there's a lot of things that can go wrong. And so you definitely grow close to people under those circumstances. But just wanted to shout out Kevin, Kathy, Nancy, and Barry for a great vacation and new friendships. And very, very lovely to make those connections literally halfway around the world. Thanks.
Wow. Bill.
Kudos to both Micah and Logan for doing the week without driving. Yay. I too did the week without driving, but that's not unusual for me. And I guess a couple week without driving related items. We had our community discussion on October 2nd, and that was recorded. So and I gave that to Scott this evening, so that will be up on, available for viewing if you want to peruse the government channel and or YouTube channel. And I did not make it to the pumpkin giveaway in the fire department event because for the week without driving, my wife and I did a bike camping trip. We biked out to Lake Kegonsa State Park, and we were there over the weekend. We went to the farmers market on Saturday in the city of Stoughton, and they just happened to also have a mini Ren fair that day. So we were treated to people with pointy ears dressed like hobbits.
like bicycle Marco Polos.
Couple other things here. The Tower Hill shelter should be complete by the end of the month. We're kind of waiting on windows and doors, but everything else is ready to go. The Fish Hatchery Road repairs at Sherrill and Lacey are nearing completion. I want to say the end of this week, maybe. Portions of the intersection with Sherrill are currently blocked off. And there was a Dane County Office of Energy and Climate Change webinar on renewable diesel. And I had asked Tim Volker about that, and he went back and watched the video, did a little research, and he said, it seems interesting. The city of Madison's been doing this for a couple of years now. The renewable diesel meets the same standards as, petroleum diesel does. So it's a drop-in replacement without any need for modification of the vehicles. It's $1.50 to $2 more expensive per gallon, and currently needs to be trucked in from North Dakota or something. But Tim said that he may work out a deal with the city of Madison to purchase some of the renewable diesel, and we can trial it in a snowplow this winter, and then again next summer in one of our street sweepers, and see how we like it.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you. District 1.
I can go. So there is a pumpkin carving on the 25th, hosted by the Allied Duns Marsh Neighborhood Association. Goes from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. at Marlboro Park, which is it hovers between Fitchburg and Madison, but it's in Madison. It's 2222 Winona Drive. This is not related to my district or Fitchburg at all, but it's pretty cool. I just thought folks might want to know. UW-Madison has actually approved, or two professors at UW-Madison got a $3 million grant to start a Puerto Rican Studies Research Hub. There was an event last night in which a traditional Puerto Rican plena band that actually played on Bad Bunny's album performed. It's going to open up the door to like a ton of research around different topics related to Puerto Rico. And the professors are both incredible scholars. One of them actually wrote a book that was referenced, and a slide deck was created for Bad Bunny's residency tour in Puerto Rico this year. So we got some famous adjacent people here in Madison, and we've got some really cool research going on. So just wanted to share that with people.
Okay, cool. Thank you. David?
The Toys for Tots is going to be at the Boys and Girls Club in December. And you have to register it. You have to register by the end of October here. So please keep that in mind. Or I've been sending the email around to various people. If you want to see a large housing structure, the Texas wrap that's going in the quarry is a monstrous.
Yeah.
And what it reminds you go on Chesapeake and you look in those people's yards, and then you see this. And what it reminded me of is the Statue of Liberty was assembled in Paris first, and they had pictures of it in a neighborhood. And you look, and there was this giant thing like in the middle of your neighborhood, and it's kind of how it seems, what it looks like. But it's a big structure. The ramp is inside it, but you go by there. The McKee Road, or not McKee, Fitchburg Road is closed for about another month. Then it'll open up, so you want to get a closer look at that. What else did I have here? Oh yeah, I wanted to add. It's not specific to our district, but the McKee family has been and disgruntled for many years that their name is spelled wrong on the park. It's a capital K, not a small K.
But I think now that he's fixing that.
And I got Brian McKee in touch with Adam, and I think they're willing to pay for the new signs to get the proper. They donated the land for the park. I think their name should be spelled right on it. So that I missed that in the park. So keep you posted on it. Small thing, but historical accuracy. If it's your name on something, you want it spelled right. So that's all I had.
Thank you. Okay. Our next is our announcement. Our next committee of the whole meeting will be October 22nd. 29.
What time?
6:30. It will always be 6:30.
29. Okay, sure. We change it. Okay.
And that'll be on the operating budget amendments.
Yes.
If any.
29.
I might add something if there's not a lot of amendments. But it's going to be.
Misty told me earlier there were 75. No, there were 0. So
if there's like one amendment, we'll do it.
I remember when we used to have 70 amendments.
That was mostly my fault.
So
it won't be me this year.
I think there was a tag.
Yeah. So our next Common Council meeting will be October 28th. This is what I have. Okay. Okay. So I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor in adjourning the meeting, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
The motion carries. Thank you very much. Buenas noches.